This manager hit his player and publicly humiliated Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar in one interview. The real reason he hasn't been fired is because his secret system actually works. Stick until the end to see the shocking moment. His anger cost his team a Champions League final. This is the untold story of football's most volatile genius. Luis Enrique, in a matter of weeks, transformed from a respected tactician to the most polarizing figure in football, drawing intense criticism after publicly dismissing the eras of Lionel Messi, Kylian Mbappe, and Neymar at PSG as self-indulgent failures. His remarks painted them as ego-driven underachievers, only for him to ironically slap João Pedro in a heated match, later insisting it was an act to restore peace. For those who knew his history, this was hardly shocking. From his playing days, Enrique was never a graceful diplomat on the pitch. He was a relentless fighter with a temper that burned as fiercely as his ambition. His career had always been punctuated by conflict, whether with fans, media, or his own players. Yet somehow, he repeatedly turned turbulence into triumph. This was a man who not only orchestrated one of the greatest trebles in football history, but also delivered a long-forgotten European underdog its first Champions League title. The question has always been whether Luis Enrique is a volatile madman who stumbled into success or a cold-blooded genius who thrives in chaos. Before the managerial spotlight, Enrique's football identity was forged in the crucible of his playing career, a career defined by ferocity. Often described as one of the most disliked midfielders in Europe, he approached every duel as though it were personal. He played with aggression that pushed boundaries, tackling with force, shoving opponents aside, and sprinting with determination that bordered on hostility. Strikingly, although he is now synonymous with Barcelona, Enrique spent 5 seasons with Real Madrid. His combative style and constant fouls meant he never fully won over Madridistas. And when he signed for Barcelona in a move dripping with spite, it cemented his image as a man unafraid to court controversy. He was jeered relentlessly at the Santiago Bernabéu, yet thrived on the hostility, scoring 46 La Liga goals in his first 3 seasons at Barcelona and earning Spanish Player of the Year. His career's closing act was telling. After 8 years at Barca, rather than prolong his playing days at a lower standard, Enrique retired, explaining that he refused to perform below the level he demanded of himself. This uncompromising self-standard would become the cornerstone of his managerial philosophy. His rise as a coach was far from straightforward. After a spell with Barcelona B and an impressive season with Celta Vigo, he was handed the reins of a Barcelona team in 2014 that was riddled with instability and division. His early months were turbulent, particularly due to a strained relationship with Lionel Messi, culminating in Messi skipping training after a tactical dispute. By January 2015, Enrique's job hung by a thread, with supporters split between backing Messi's freedom and endorsing Enrique's strict, authoritarian structure. Then the team clicked. From February onward, his tactical discipline merged seamlessly with Messi's brilliance, while Neymar and Luis Suarez flourished in lethal harmony. The result was a treble-winning campaign hailed as one of the most dominant in history. It was proof that Enrique's uncompromising approach, while abrasive, could produce unmatched results. His tenure with the Spanish national team, however, revealed the sharp edge of his personality. Upon taking charge, he dismantled the remnants of the golden generation, replacing celebrated veterans with an influx of young talent. The Spanish press erupted, labeling him El Arrogant and accusing him of personal vendettas. Enrique met criticism with scorn, telling reporters craving nostalgia to watch old games. Under his command, Spain played vibrant, high-tempo football, but inconsistency haunted them. Players either thrived spectacularly or faded into obscurity. There was no middle ground. Even after his dismissal in 2023, he refused to apologize, insisting his mission had been to rejuvenate the squad for the future, not to appease the present. When PSG came calling, Enrique inherited one of football's most volatile dressing rooms, a job so daunting that many top managers had turned it down. In a pointed declaration, he said he would not have accepted the role with Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe still at the club, citing a lack of balance and control. Early results were shaky and criticism poured in, but Enrique remained unyielding, confronting Mbappe publicly, dropping Ousmane Dembele for skipping tactical meetings, and showing no deference to reputations. Even Thierry Henry publicly questioned his methods. Enrique's vision, however, was never about quick fixes. It was about dismantling PSG's fragile identity and reconstructing it into a disciplined, relentless machine. By immersing himself entirely, sleeping at training facilities, personally supervising fitness drills, and overhauling pressing schemes, he gradually won over the squad. PSG's transformation became evident. Aggressive pressing, tactical flexibility between 4-3-3 and 4-2-3-1, and the use of inverted fullbacks to overwhelm central areas. His approach demanded total defensive commitment from forwards, with Achraf Hakimi and Nuno Mendes playing critical roles in half-space attacks. The pressing was calculated yet suffocating, consistently disrupting opponents' rhythm. His revival of Dembele, once considered a wasted talent, was especially remarkable. The winger emerged as both a creative force and a leader in the press. Midfielder Vitinha, free to express himself within Enrique's structure, thrived in both defensive and attacking phases. Youngster Desire Dewey became a fixture, proving Enrique's belief in form over reputation. Off the pitch, Enrique's reputation for coldness persisted. Even charitable acts, such as live streaming during the 2022 World Cup to raise funds for cancer research, were met with cynicism, and he could not resist inflammatory remarks, such as calling Inter Milan good losers after a Champions League final, only to later act in a way critics deemed hypocritical following PSG's loss to Chelsea. Still, his first season yielded domestic trophies and a Champions League semi-final run, proving that his abrasive methods, while exhausting, delivered results. Luis Enrique's football is not possession for possession's sake. It is vertical, purposeful, and as aggressive as his persona. Players who endure his demands emerge sharper, hungrier, and more disciplined. Those who cannot adapt simply vanish. Whether one views him as a tyrant or a visionary, his record speaks for itself. He builds teams that win, and for all the storms he invites, Enrique remains unshaken, because in his mind, the system works. And if it works, why fix it? Time will tell whether his fire will burn PSG to ashes or forge them into champions once more. Do you think Luis Enrique is a genius who thrives in storms or a volatile figure destined to self-destruct? Do his methods prove that discipline and ruthlessness are necessary for greatness? And will his PSG project end in ultimate glory or spectacular collapse? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more untold football stories.